खुनेकारी बोलूंचो जयजी नेंद्र हांव उर्वी देवी आनी हांव कच्छी बोलात माझे नाव अग्नी मी कोंकणी उलयतां
നമസ്കാരം എൻ്റെ പേര് അഭിരാം ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിലാണ് സംസാരിക്കുക
سلام اسم من شهرزاد همه فارسی حرف میزنم
Assalamu alaikum. Which is Ajwat, which is Bolan Koshal.
என் பேர் வந்தனா நான் தமிழ் பேசுகிறேன்
আমার নাম মুস্কান আর আমি বাংলা বলতে পারি
नमस्कार माझं नाव अथर्वा आहे आणि मी मराठी बोलतो
Languages are a treasure that convey something more than just words. They are the roots of our diversity, yet they also unite us. We might call it by different names, but each and every one of us has a language that we hold dear to our heart.
Evidently, India is very diverse. More than a dozen languages are spoken on the Symbiosis campus alone. So one begs to question, how diverse is India as a whole?
India has 1.4 billion people, 28 states, 8 union territories. India speaks 780 plus languages. Unfortunately, India is also home to the highest number of endangered languages in the world.
More than 196 Indian languages are endangered. Most of these languages are spoken by marginalized tribes and communities that have no institutional support for the preservation of their languages. 41 of them might go extinct within our lifetime. It is hence incredibly important for us to spread awareness about these languages, for when our language dies, an inseparable part of society dies with it.
Hence, we present to you Bhasha, the story of India's languages in danger, our stories in our tongues.
Where are these languages in danger located? Every state and union territory in India has at least one endangered language that is spoken within its state's boundaries. However, 70% of India's endangered languages are spoken in 4 regions that have immense ethno-linguistic diversity. These 4 regions are the Northeast. The Northeast of India consists of 8 states, namely Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura and Sikkim. While the Northeast of India is the least populated geographic division of India, it is home to incredible ethno-linguistic diversity. The Northeast of India is inhabited by hundreds of tribes and communities that speak distinctly different languages. These languages can be widely categorized into 3 broader language families. The 3 language families being Tibeto-Burman, Austroasiatic, and Indo-Aryan. The Northeast of India is home to hundreds of languages in 3 distinct language families. It is hence arguably the most diverse part of our nation linguistically. This diversity, however, is in danger. Along with being home to hundreds of languages, the Northeast is also home to the highest number of endangered languages in India. 40 plus languages in the Northeast are considered to be endangered. Many of these languages could go extinct within the next 10 years, and a few of them are believed to have gone extinct already.
The Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are archipelagos in the Bay of Bengal. These islands were indigenously inhabited by the Nicobarese, Jarwa, Onge and Sentinels, but over the years have seen great changes in their demography. While the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are home to only 5 lakh people, the island chain is home to more than 20 languages that are considered endangered, with some languages like Nankori and Onge having less than 1,000 living speakers. These languages are mostly Austroasiatic and are spoken by several isolated and primitive tribes. Their documentation is limited and many of them are expected to go extinct in the coming 10 years.
Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Maharashtra has always been a significant state. It lies across the western coast of India and has been fairly prosperous. Marathi has been the predominant language in the state. However, various dialects of Marathi are prevalent. These dialects change owing to regional changes, and mostly the tribal regions have their own rendition of the language. Languages like Konkani, Dagani, Gondi, Madia, Korku are all tribal languages spoken in different regions of Maharashtra. Gondi, Madhya, and Korku are spoken in the bordering areas of Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, a state in central India. Konkani is spoken in the coastal belt of Maharashtra. Dangani is spoken by the Mahadeo Koli tribe who belong to the districts of Ahmednagar, rural Pune, Nashik, especially in the mountainous belts. Gondi is spoken by the Gonds in the border areas with Madhya Pradesh. Korku is spoken by the Korku tribe in areas near Amravati. Odisha. Odisha, a state situated on the eastern coast of India along the Bay of Bengal. It is very popular for its culture and temples. Majority of the tribes of India are found in the tribal belt along the central and eastern part of India. Odisha hosts a lot of these tribes. As per the census 2011, the state of Odisha has the third highest percentage of tribal population in the country. Tribes like Gond and Saura are found in the bordering areas of Odisha along with Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh respectively.
Why are these languages endangered, and what can be done to safeguard their existence? Let us take a closer look at these regions of ethno-linguistic diversity and cover a few languages in danger that lie within their borders.
The Northeast. Manipur. Manipur, or as it is indigenously called Kangleipak, is a state in the northeast of India. It borders Assam to the west, Nagaland to the north, Mizoram to the south, and the country of Myanmar in the east. In spite of its relatively small population and landmass, Manipur is brimming with diversity. This diversity can be ecological, genealogical, cultural, religious, and of course, linguistic. Linguistically speaking, more than 30 languages are spoken in the small state of Manipur. Unfortunately, a lot of these languages are endangered, with many losing speakers by the day. Let's learn more about Manipur's languages in danger and what can be done to safeguard them by conversing with locals and native speakers of these endangered languages.
Tado Kuki. Tado or Tado Kuki is a Sino-Tibetan language from the northern Kuki-Chin Mizo sub-branch. It is natively spoken by the Tado people who inhabit districts such as Chandel and Tengopal in the state of Manipur. It is estimated that 220,000 people presently speak the Tado Kuki language. It is categorized as being a vulnerable language by the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger. Let's hear Mr. Paumin Thang, a native speaker of Tado Kuki, address his concerns and give us a few suggestions to safeguard his language in danger. Chote. Chote is a Sino-Tibetan language from the Kuki-Chin branch that is spoken by the Chote people who inhabit the Chandel and Bishnupur districts of Manipur. Today, only 5,000 or so people speak the language, and the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger categorizes Chote as being definitely endangered, as the language has seen a steep decline in speakers over the years. Let's hear from Dainem Yulung, a native speaker of Chote, address her concerns and give us a few suggestions to safeguard her language in danger.
I am Dainem Yulung. I am from Jayantlang. I speak Chote language. The concern I have for my language is many youngsters speak English, Hindi, and Manipuri instead of using Chote language among ourselves. In order to preserve and safeguard our language, We use Jyote Bible songbooks. Many books were also written for preserving our language. To protect our Jyote language, we need Jyote dictionary and a glossary books where we can read and learn and even use for the future generation. We Jyotis also need to have Jyote language as a subject in the state board where we can also learn, grow, and keep a good legacy in terms of language for the coming generation.
Mar. Mar is a Sino-Tibetan language from the Kukish sub-branch that is spoken by the Mar people who inhabit Perzol, Chudachangpur, and Imphal in Manipur, Aizol, Champai, and Kolasib in Mizoram, Shillong and Kadum in Meghalaya, and Dima Hasao and Barak Valley in Assam. The language is spoken by 98,000 plus speakers, most of which live in Manipur. The language is classified as being vulnerable by the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger. Let's hear from Rosie N. Sanate, a native speaker of Mar, address her concerns about her language in danger.
Mizoram le Manipur tinga mar hai mar jong hai ahun ang tanopea chun ehung assimilate ne hin umna huna hai an jong hai an dan hai lakhin ni hom jong hi ahun dal ta met din kashita chel khela patnam tin hin jong bi eni haka bi de chi leri hai khomin an jong sing an ne ya nam patnam dang hai khomin jong sing ni de amirok chu hai khom chu ahung bo do chlei chun hum hal poimo.
Paite. Paite is a Sino-Tibetan language from the northern Kuki-Chin branch that is spoken by the Paite people who live in Manipur, Assam, and the Chin state in Myanmar. The UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger categorizes Paite as being a vulnerable language. It is estimated that around 90,000 people speak Paite today. Let's hear from Dr. Manbyaknem, a native speaker of Paite, address her concerns and talk about the safeguards in place to protect her language in danger.
Dr. Manbyaknem kahi lamfe lapat kahi kahi Paite kahi Paite pau tule la poimo mama ahile namdang le pau tang tampi to kiel tua katahi wai bana lai gel tan le lai pau hoi tak nei ki male tu lai ko vela wai te sangi na pau le lai gel tan hoi tak om lowin ki sangi wai te poimo mama hi Paite pau kip na din sol kalin lai sin na emayel Paite high school apan college ahon koyo hi wai lowin Paite sunga Paite literature society kineya mountain Paite lai gel tan le paute en kayo hi Paite pau kepit na din khotang le nam sunga kisin sak na hoi tak nei sim poimo hi.
Assam. Assam is situated in the northeast of India and is the largest northeastern state in terms of population while second in terms of area. Assam is often called the meeting ground of diverse cultures and is home to several diverse tribes like Bodo, Kachari, Karbi, Miri, Koch, Tiwa, Raba, etc. Most tribes have their own languages, though Assamese is the principal language and lingua franca of the state. In recent years, the linguistic diversity of Assam has started to deteriorate, with many indigenous languages losing its speakers due to various reasons, such as lack of government action, imposition of larger languages, and general negligence from the population. Due to this, Assam is home to many endangered languages. Let's learn about some of these languages in danger in the following segment. Koch. The Koch language is a Sino-Tibetan language from the Bodo-Garo sub-branch that is spoken by the Koch people. Today, the language is spoken in Dhemaji, Baksa, Lakhimpur, and Nagaur districts of Assam and in East Khasi Hills and in West Garo Hills district of Meghalaya. As of today, Koch has around 35,000 active speakers and is categorized as being definitely endangered by the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger. Tiwa. Tiwa, also known as Lalung, is a Sino-Tibetan language from the Bodo-Garo sub-branch, and it's spoken by the Tiwa people who inhabit Karbi, Anglong, Nagao, Morigao and Kamrup districts of Assam and Ripoi district in Meghalaya. While there are around 380,000 ethnic Tiwas, only 33,000 or 7 to 8% of them speak the Tiwa language. The Tiwa language is categorized as being definitely endangered by the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger.
Sikkim is a state of northeastern India that is known for its natural beauty and cultural diversity. It is a small state that shares its border with Nepal, Bhutan, Tibet, and West Bengal. The state has a population of around 6 lakh, with the majority of them belonging to different ethnic and linguistic backgrounds. The ethnic diversity of Sikkim is a blend of indigenous Lepchas, Bhutias, and Nepalis, along with other migrants. The Lepchas are the original inhabitants of Sikkim who lived in isolation in the lower valleys and were known for their traditional culture and lifestyle. The linguistic diversity of Sikkim is equally rich and diverse. The official language of the state is Nepali, but several languages such as Lepcha, Bhutia, Limbu, and Tamang are also spoken widely in the state. Lepcha. The Lepcha or the Rong language is a Sino-Tibetan language from the Himalayas branch that is spoken by the Lepcha people who live in Darjeeling, Sikkim and parts of Bhutan. Lepcha is one of the only Tibeto-Burman languages to have its own script and has a rich literary history, as manuscripts and scrolls exist that were written in the Lepcha language using the Lepcha script. Today, 66,000 plus people speak the Lepcha language, and the language is categorized as being definitely endangered by the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Language in Danger.
Let's learn more about these languages in danger from the Northeast through an interview with Dr. Sadharupa Datta Majumdar.
Dr. Sadharupa Datta Majumdar is a renowned linguist who has worked with several premier institutions across the nation. She completed her MA and PhD from the University of Kolkata and is currently affiliated with the Asiatic Society Kolkata and the Indian National Science Academy in New Delhi. Dr. Sadharupa specializes in working with the speech communities of the Northeast and has authored several books about endangered languages. She works ardently to spread awareness about these languages and documents their culture, their history, and their literary traditions.
Why is it important for us as a civilization to safeguard endangered languages? What happens when a language goes extinct?
Any language becoming endangered and ultimately becoming extinct should be considered as a loss to mankind in general and to the people of the linguistic area in particular. Language records the acquired knowledge, the worldview of a speech community across generations in a specific ecological setup. The extinction of a language means loss of language that was acquired through generations, not only for the speech community but for the human civilization as a whole. So, it is important to safeguard the endangered languages from its extinction.
We know that the Northeast is rich in diversity. This diversity also applies to its languages, with several language families existing in the Northeast. Could you please shed some light on the linguistic diversity of the Northeast?
In northeastern part of India, we find languages from different language families like Austroasiatic, Indo-Aryan and Tibeto-Burman. Speakers belonging to Tai-Kadai language family are also present in northeast India. Most of the languages spoken in northeast belong to the Tibeto-Burman language family. According to 2011 census, 66 Tibeto-Burman languages are spoken in India, out of which 62 Tibeto-Burman languages are spoken in the northeastern part of the country. The major languages which belong to the Austroasiatic group spoken in northeast are Khasi, whereas Munda and Sagara are the minor migrant population of the region. Indo-Aryan languages which are mainly spoken in northeast are Assamese, Bengali, Vishnupriya Manipuri, Chakma and Nepali. To name a few Tibeto-Burman languages that are spoken in the region are Adi, Angami, Chakhesang, Dimasa, Deuri, Garo, Boro, Karbi, Koch, Meitei Manipuri, Lepcha, Rabha, Tiwa, so on and so forth. The languages like Aiton, Khamti, Khamiang and Phake of the Thai family are spoken in northeast India.
In regards to the Northeast, we know that most Indian languages that are categorized by UNESCO as being endangered in India come from the Northeast. What could be the reason behind this?
First of all, I must say that a language should be referred on its own terms. When a language can adequately carry out interaction or communication in different domains of social life, then it cannot be considered as endangered in true sense of the term. The UNESCO parameters for determining language endangerment do not always fit into the Indian socio-linguistic situations and obviously for Northeast India. When we consider that all languages are potentially equal, the inequality evident in the formal developmental status of a language is more a socio-political or socio-economic issue rather than the actual situation of language maintenance. Therefore, the languages declared as endangered by UNESCO are not always really endangered. In that case, change in the parameters to determine language endangerment seems to be imminent. As the actual situation of all the languages is not yet objectively explored, the given metrics to assess the endangerment status falls short of reality. This is very much true to the linguistic situation of Northeast Indian languages. It is a paradox of the so-called civilization that we have failed to treat all the languages in equal terms. This is true not only for India but all throughout the globe.
Koch. What status does the Koch language hold in India and the states that it is spoken in? Is it recognized by local bodies and is it a part of local school curriculum?
The Koch language is spoken in the states of Assam and Meghalaya. Koch people are also found in West Bengal. The speaker strength of Koch in India is 36,434 according to 2011 census report. The Koch language is codified, that means it has script, orthography, dictionary and grammar. There is no officially declared status for the Koch language. Yes, the Koch language is recognized by the local bodies. Composite programs are broadcast from All India Radio in the morning 3 days a week. Doordarshan Tura also telecast folk dance and documentary programs in Koch. Koch has no place in the school curriculum followed in the government schools, although some primers and language teaching materials are available in the language. These are the developments by non-governmental agencies like Koch Krorang Matho, that is Koch Literary Association, Meghalaya Koch Association, Meghalaya Koch Students Union, SEAL International and such other organizations.
The Koch language is categorized as being definitely endangered by the UNESCO Atlas of the World's Languages in Danger. Do you agree with this categorization and does it paint the status of the Koch language fairly? What can be done to ensure that the Koch language's longevity is ensured in spite of its status?
As per UNESCO definition, definitely endangered languages are those where children no longer learn the language as mother tongue in the home. My study on the socio-linguistic profile of Koch does not corroborate the Koch language situation with the UNESCO definition of definite endangerment. The intergenerational language transmission of Koch, the mother tongue, is very much evident in the Koch inhabiting areas of Meghalaya. The intergenerational language transmission of Koch is observed to be weak in Assam and rare in West Bengal. But the children in the Koch inhabiting areas like West Garo Hills, Southwest Garo Hills and East Khasi Hills districts do learn Koch, the mother tongue, in their home. Governmental effort in incorporating the Koch language in school curriculum and in the developmental aspects of language pedagogy will ensure the maintenance of language on a stronger footing.
Diva. What status does the Tiwa language hold in India and the states that it is spoken in? Is it recognized by local bodies and is it a part of local school curriculum? Are there any provisions made by the government to ensure the safety of Tiwa?
Tiwa, which is mentioned as Lalung in the Indian census, is a language spoken in the states of Assam and Meghalaya. The speaker strength of Tiwa in India, according to 2011 census, is 33,921. The speech community is divided into two groups, the Hill Tiwas and the Plain Tiwas. Hill Tiwas are the inhabitants of the westernmost areas of Karbi Anglong district in Assam and northeastern corner of the Ribhoi district of Meghalaya. Plain Tiwas live in Morigao and Nagaon districts of Assam. Now, there is no officially declared status of the Tiwa language in Assam and Meghalaya. The language is yet to be introduced in the educational system provided by the government. The language is only taught in the educational domain as a subject and as a medium of instruction at the school level up to the 4th standard in Don Bosco School of Umswai Church in the hills of Karbi Anglong district. Tiwa language is also taught in some village level organizations run by Tiwa Mathunlai Tokra, that is Tiwa Literary Association. Programs in the Tiwa language are occasionally broadcast and telecast during Tiwa festivals. Tiwa is codified, having script, orthography, dictionary and grammar. Governmental support in the domain of language pedagogy will surely help in controlling language attrition and maintenance of Tiwa in different social domains.
According to census data, while there are 370,000 ethnic Tiwas, only 34,000 Tiwas speak the Tiwa Lalung language. What can be the reason behind this?
Ethnic strength and speaker strength are not same. Ethnically, people may belong to Tiwa community, but all of them might not be speaking in the Tiwa language. Such a situation is indicative of language shift. For example, there are villages in Assam where Tiwa people are not maintaining their mother tongue Tiwa but shifted to the Assamese language. The reason of such language shift can be varied. It can be due to the socio-economic or socio-political situations where dominance of a major language exerts societal pressure for using the dominant language. Such a shift is also evident due to inter-ethnic marriage of the Tiwas with the Assamese speakers.
Lepcha. What status does the Lepcha language hold in India and the states that it is spoken in? Is it recognized by local bodies and is it a part of local school curriculum? Are there any provisions made to safeguard Lepcha?
The Lepcha language is spoken in Sikkim and also in Darjeeling and Kalimpong districts of West Bengal. According to 2011 census, the total Lepcha speakers in India is 47,331. Lepcha is declared as one of the official languages by the government of Sikkim in 1977. There is no officially declared status of Lepcha in West Bengal. Lepcha is taught in the educational domain up to the university level in Sikkim. Lepcha is also used in mass media in Sikkim. But in West Bengal, the language is not taught in the government educational system. It is only taught in the Lepcha night schools run by the Indigenous Lepcha Tribal Association Kalimpong at the village level up to the 12th standard. Different governmental and non-governmental agencies like Sikkim Academy under Culture and Heritage Department, Sikkim Lepcha Literary Organization, West Bengal Mayal Liang Lepcha Development Board Kalimpong are working for the development of the Lepcha language. In West Bengal, Ren Liangsong Tamsang, the chairman of West Bengal Mayal Liang Lepcha Development Board, is working hard for incorporation of the Lepcha language in the government school curriculum.
Lepcha is one of the only languages from Northeast India to have its own script. Please shed some light on the Lepcha script and the importance of a language having its own script.
The Lepcha language has its own script. Lepcha script is a form of Tibetan Umat character derived from Brahmi script. The Lepcha alphabet is known as Rongchoming. There is a popular belief that Lepcha script was invented during the Tibetan rule in Sikkim. But the scholar members of the lecture speech community claim that it was the scholar lecture priest named Thikung Mensalong who invented the lecture alphabets. The scholar K.P. Tamsang opines that the lecture script was already there, existing and widely used by the lecturers even before the coming of the first Tibetan immigrant Janga Guru Tase in Sikkim in the 13th century. The lecture book of alphabets and syllabic schemes based on pronunciation is known as Lazong. A language having a script of its own from such a long time signifies the developed status of that language. This stands as evidence for an intellectually developed speech community who felt the necessity and importance of putting into record their worldview and the indigenous knowledge acquired through generations by using their own script representing the speech sounds of their language.
There are several manuscripts that were written in the Lepcha language, a large collection of which is stored in Leiden, the Netherlands. Could you shed a light on the literary history of the Lepcha language and how the government of India and other local bodies can safeguard this literary history?
There are Lepcha manuscripts which are known as Namtho Namthar in Lepcha. These are the repository of the indigenous knowledge of the speech community acquired through ages across the time. There are more than 200 such manuscripts in possession of the lectures of Darjeeling district. Apart from these, there are 182 lecture manuscripts kept in the Van Manen collection of the Kern Institute of Leiden University, Netherlands. These 182 manuscripts were collected by Professor Johan van Manen during his stay in India in the first half of the 20th century. These manuscripts were later taken to Leiden. The Asiatic Society Kolkata, in its recent venture, has fetched the digital version of these 182 lecture manuscripts from the Kern Institute and preserved for research purpose. It is to be noted here that the time period of the composition of these lecture manuscripts are yet to be deciphered. By transliterating, glossing, translating and interpreting these old lecture manuscripts, both the government and non-government agencies can safeguard and disseminate the rich literary heritage of the lecture speech community.
Maharashtra has been a very progressive state throughout the course of time in independent India. It has had steadfast progress in all fields. Talking about the language, as known to all, Marathi has been the most widely used language in Maharashtra. However, it is rightly believed when one says the dialect and communicative styles change in every 15 to 20 kilometers. The widespread usage of Marathi often makes one forget that there are other dialects and languages spoken in Maharashtra too. These are majorly spoken amongst the tribal regions and by various tribes ranging through the length and breadth of Maharashtra, as far as the border of Madhya Pradesh with Maharashtra. Let us learn more about Maharashtra and its languages from Suman Muthe ma'am. Suman ma'am is a social worker, women's activist and a writer based in Nashik, Maharashtra. She has worked in areas of welfare and women development in tribal belts of Maharashtra for more than 35 years now. Could you tell us about endangered languages in Maharashtra?
मी म्हटलं ना आता आधुनिक प्रवाहामध्ये आलेत ना तर त्यांची ओरिजिनल जी बोलीभाषा आहे ना ती अजून विसरलेली नाहीये. म्हणजे असं आपण म्हणा आता आपली आहे आपली पण जी डांगाणी भाषा आहे ना डांगाणी ती कमी कमी होत गेली होती. मधल्या मी सांगितलं ना मधल्या ज्या पिढ्या गेल्या ना इव्हन मोठ्या साहेबांना किंवा नंदा त्याच्या आधीच्या पिढीच्या लोकांना पण बरेचसे काही शब्द माहिती नव्हते. बरेचसे शब्द पण ते आता असं झालेलं आहे ना की आता त्याचं पुनरुज्जीवन होते. पुन्हा तो लोक त्याच्याकडे वळायला लागलेले. त्याचं कारणही अभ्यासक म्हणजे मी अभ्यासकांची नावं घेतली ना डॉक्टर गारेंसारखा अभ्यासक डॉक्टर. आणि मुळात काय झालेलं आहे माहिती का आता बोलीभाषांना मुळात आपण तेच होऊ की मुळात बोलीभाषांना इतकं महत्व आलेलं आहे ना आता की प्रत्येक वेळा पहिला मान पटकवला मालवणी भाषेने. मालवणी भाषेने मीडियामध्ये येऊन इतकं काही तुफान म्हणजे म्हणतात ना एक प्रकारचं वातावरण निर्मिती केली की बोलीभाषा किती जतन केली पाहिजे. मूळ सगळे शब्द बोलीभाषेत सापडतात आपल्याला ज्याला आपण म्हणतो ना मातृभाषा आईच्या मुखातून आलेली आईच्या सानिध्यातून मिळाली ती शब्द संपत्ती असते. मग त्यामुळे झालं काय की एकदा मालवणी जी भाषा बोलीभाषा सुरुवात झाली ना, जी माध्यमांनी उचलून धरली, वृत्तपत्रांनी उचलून धरली, मुळात त्या समाजाने उचलून धरली. आणि त्यामुळे झालं काय एक प्रकारची वेळ येते. आपण म्हणतो ना लाट येते बघ, लाट येते. काही वेळेला एखादी फॅशनची लाट येते, एखादी कलाकृती तिची लाट येते, एखादा गाण्याचा जो प्रकार असतो तिची लाट येते. तसं आता काय झालंय माहिती का, त्याच्यानंतर बऱ्याचशा बोलीभाषांकडे लोक वळायला लागले. कारण ती बोलीभाषा जर लोकांनी उचलली, ती बोलीभाषा जर इथं सगळ्यांनी ऍक्सेप्ट केली, तिला जर जवळजवळ त्या आता कदाचित अभिजात भाषेचा दर्जा मिळणार आहे, तर मग आपण का नाही मग आपली भाषा आपण बोलीभाषा उचलू. असं करत करत आपल्या लोकांपर्यंत ते लोण आलं. कारण आपल्या समाजाचा संबंध शहरामध्ये इव्हन मुंबई पुणे ते आता जो पूर्वी मुंबई पुण्याला अपूर्वाई होती येण्याची, मुंबई पुणे नाशिक शहरात, ते आता थेट US पर्यंत चाललाय. US जर्मनी फ्रान्स कुठे कुठे. आणि त्यामुळे झालंय काय माहिती का, हा जो प्रवाह आहे ना प्रत्येक जण जतन करण्याच्या मागे लागलेले. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी जर त्यांची बोलीभाषा जपली, त्यांनी जर त्या भाषेचं सौंदर्य टिकवलं, तर आपण का टिकवू नये. असं करत करत त्या बोलीभाषा आता आपल्याकडे जतन करण्याचा कल वाढत चाललाय. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये कोण आहे तुमच्यासारखे आमच्यासारखे सुशिक्षित लोक की ज्यांच्या पूर्वजांनी सुद्धा ते दुर्लक्ष केलं होतं, पण आताची पिढी ते जतन करण्याच्या मागे. कारण त्याच्यात माधुर्य आणि गोडवा खूप आहे बोलीभाषेचा. सगळ्यात मध्ये आगरी बोलीभाषा असू देत, मालवणी असू देत, कुठली पण जी ओरिजिनल बोलीभाषा आहे ना, त्या भाषेचा गोडगा काही वेगळाच असतो तो. आणि का कोण समाजाच्या जवळ गेल्यासारखं वाटतं, आपल्या गावाच्या जवळ गेल्यासारखं वाटतं, आपल्या आईच्या जवळ गेल्यासारखं वाटतं. आणि त्यामुळे मग त्या बोलीभाषेचं महत्व ते लोन आता, कारण आपला समज प्रचंड विचार करायला लागलाय, आता विचार प्रवर्तक झालाय, काय चांगलं आहे काय वाईट आहे, मग आपण आपली बोलीभाषा का जतन करू नये. मी सांगते ना, खूप वेळा मी ते महाराष्ट्राच्या आपल्या तरी ग्रुपचं आणि तिकडे गोल्डी माडे यांचं तर विचारायलाच नको. त्यांनी तर मातृभाषेतून शिक्षण द्या म्हणायला सुरुवात केली. मला वाटतं सुरू पण झालं तिकडे. तो भाग आहे ना, तर शक्यतो तुम्ही प्रमाण भाषेत नको. प्रमाण भाषेमुळे आमचा विद्यार्थी मागे पडतो. म्हणजे कार्यकर्ते म्हणा किंवा राजकीय पुढारी म्हणा, माझ्या माहितीप्रमाणे बालभारती माडिया भाषेत पण सुरू झाले त्यांचं. आणि ते रोज सगळीकडे पसरते ती. म्हणून तुझा जो प्रश्न आहे ना की ती लुप्त होते का, काय भाषा लुप्त होणार आहे का, तर नाही. माझं तरी वैयक्तिक माझं जे निरीक्षण आहे ना, तर ही बोलीभाषा उलट प्रवाहात आणण्याचा प्रयत्न करतात पुढे मागे. मला तर वाटतं आताशी जी प्रसिद्ध झालेले आहेत ना, गवारींचं पुस्तक, गवारी आपलाच आहे, नाशिक रोडचाच आहे, स्वतःची प्रकाशन संस्था आहे, उत्तम लेखक आहे, त्याची बायको पण उत्तम निवेदक आहे, नवरा बायको म्हणून पुस्तकं प्रकाशित करतात. आणि ते बऱ्याचशा त्याच्या पुस्तकामध्ये ओरिजिनल बोलीभाषेचा, त्याची जी काही पुस्तकं माझ्याकडे आली ना, त्याच्यामध्ये ओरिजिनल बोलीभाषेचा बरेच शब्द येतात त्याच्यामध्ये. म्हणजे कधी काळी कोणीतरी पूर्ण बोलीभाषेत सुद्धा एखादी कादंबरी पण लिहिली. तुकाराम रोवटेकर याच्या बाबतीत आपले अरविंद भांगरेंचं मी पाहिलं, भयंकर परखड आहे ती माणसं बोलीभाषेबद्दल. सहज जरी बसली तरी पटकन बोलीभाषेत संभाषण सुरू करतात. म्हणजे फक्त आपल्या लोकांबद्दल. मारिया गौंड वगैरे त्यांनी तर स्वीकारलेलंच आहे.
Are there any efforts being taken locally to revive these languages?
तसं आता ती वेळ आलेली तरुणाईची की त्यांना ते करायचं आहे, बोलीभाषांचं जतन करायचंय. आणि बोलीभाषांचं तो पुन्हा एक वेगळा सेक्शन म्हणून ते कदाचित मातृभाषेत शिक्षण द्या म्हणून तर आपल्याकडे सुद्धा कदाचित ती ठराव मान्य करतील ते. जसं मारिया गौडनी त्यांनी म्हटलं ना की आम्हाला आमच्या बोलीभाषेतच मुलांना द्या, तर आमची मुलं पुढे. तुमच्या प्रमाण भाषेसंबंध त्यामुळे ते नापास होतात, ती मुलं हुशार असून मागे पडतात. तर आता तो प्रयोग तिकडे सुरू झालेला आहे. पॅरलल त्याचे शब्दकोश वगैरे तयार केलेले आहेत त्यांनी. आणि म्हणूनच शब्दकोश आले आपल्याकडे. डॉक्टर गिरधारी त्यांनी जवाहरला असताना एक शब्दकोश तयार केला. अजून एक नाव राहिलं, श्रीधर फडके, संगीतकार श्रीधर फडके नाही, जवाहरला डॉक्टर होते ते. बराच काळ जवाहरला डॉक्टर होते आणि त्यांनी हे संबंध अशा चालीरीतीने याच्यावरती त्यांनी पण एक पुस्तक लिहिलं. त्या गोष्टीला आता 60-70-80 वर्ष झाली.
Are the authorities taking any efforts in the revival and inclusion of these languages in the mainstream?
ती भाषा शेवटी तुमच्या मनात कुठेतरी ती रुतून राहणार आणि ती अशा पुस्तक रूपाने जतन होणार ती आता.
पुस्तक आणि मुलांना शिकून,
मुलांना शिकून म्हणजे शाळेमध्ये नाही स्वीकारणार, कारण शाळा मान्य नाही करणार ती. 4-2 विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी कसं काय नाही. पण तू म्हणतो ते बरोबर आहे. शाळांमध्ये धडे आता उषा आत्रामबाई आहे ना, तिच्या कथा तशाच्या तशा भाषेमध्ये अभ्यासक्रमामध्ये टाकल्यात त्यांनी. पुणे विद्यापीठाचं FYचं जे मराठीचं काहीतरी टेक्स्टबुक आहे ना, त्याच्यात उषा आत्रामबाईची कथा आहे. FYB याच्यामध्ये त्याच भाषेत लिहिलेलं पुस्तक आहे.
How influential has the Marathi language been with respect to usage and acceptability of these local dialects?
तुम्हाला असं वाटतं का की मराठीच्या प्रभावाखाली हे बोली किंवा हे बोली भाषा जे आपण म्हणतो ते दाबले जातात कुठे मराठीच्या प्रभावाखाली?
नाही, प्रमाण भाषा आपण त्याला प्रमाण भाषा बोलू आपण. मराठी म्हणजे शुद्ध जी पुणेकर बोलतात, जी म्हणजे नागपूरची अर्थात प्रत्येकाची वेगवेगळी लिहिती, पण टिकूनच आहेत ना ते. आपण नागपूर वऱ्हाडी भाषा टिकून आहे, इकडची कोकणातली भाषा टिकून आहे, पूर्ण मालवणी भाषा तर टिकून आहे. मालवणी माणूस मुंबई जा नाही परदेशात जा, तो घरामध्ये मालवणीच बोलणार. प्रमाण भाषा स्वीकारतात येते जरुरी पुरतं, पण त्यामुळे आपली भाषा लुप्त होईल असं सांगतात.
Could you shed light upon some of the cultural and religious practices of tribals in Maharashtra?
आदिवासी समाजाच्या असे काही चालीरीती किंवा असे काही पद्धती जे मे बी बाहेर नसतील माहिती, महाराष्ट्रात लोकांना असून पण असे काही गोष्टी म्हणजे देवपूजापासून ते गोष्टी.
देवपूजेचं तर मी म्हणते ना, मूळ देव तुम्हाला सांगितलं ना, आता काही देव आहे ते स्वीकारलेत लोकांनी. माझी वैष्णव देवीचं उदाहरण का सांगितलं तुला मी, जरी नाही आहे ना पण ते आपलेच मानले त्यांनी. जरी आपले आहेत ना तरी इतकं सर्रासपणे जायला लागलेली आहेत ना लोक. मेळघाटला होते आमची बहीण 6 वर्ष, तर तिथे महिनाभर महाराष्ट्रातली नंबर 1 जत्रा भरायची, बेहरामची जत्रा. तर तो मूळ पूर्ण कोरकू लोकांचा देव, पूर्ण म्हणजे अगदी एवढसा म्हणत होता. काय तांदळा म्हणा किंवा काय, तो शेंदूर लावत लावत त्याला एक डोंगराचा आकार भरणं झालाय. म्हणजे किती वर्ष लोक पूजा करतात हे बघा, प्रत्येक जण इथे शेंदूर लावतं. पण म्हणाल ना तुम्ही तर मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र आणि राजस्थान तेवढ्या 3 जिल्ह्यात 3 राज्यातले लोक महिनाभर यात्रेला गर्दी. त्याच्यामध्ये मारवाडी असतो, गुजराती असतो, सिंधी असतो, पंजाबी असतो, जे बदलून परदेशात गेलेत त्या परिसरातले लोक ते यात्रेसाठी खास येतात. मग ते बघत नाही का हा कोरकूंचा देव आहे, हा कोरकूंचा देव डोक्यात तर पूर्ण लोकांच्या गेले. हा बैरम आहे, बैरमला मी गेल्या वर्षी नवस बोललो होतो. मला आता काय की आपल्या भागातल्या सटवाई आहे, आपल्या इकडचे लोक त्या सटवाईंची जाऊन पूजा करतात. राणूबाई सटवाई ह्या ज्या काही आहेत ना, त्या सटवाईंच्या पूजनाला काही इतर समाजाचे लोक जाऊन पण पूजा करतात. तिथे जाऊन मुलांना पाया पाडून आणतात. म्हणजे याला संस्कृती संस्करण म्हणतात, संस्कृतीची देवाणघेवाण म्हणतात. जरी आपले असले तरी त्यांनी स्वीकारले, त्यांचे तर आपण स्वीकारले. त्यांचे म्हणजे काय, आपल्यातलं खरं सांगू का, मूळ बेसिक संस्कृती जी आपली ना ते खरंच आहे, ते बेसिक आपणच आहोत. आणि आपल्याकडचं जे आपण पूजापाठ करत होतो ना, त्यांनी मी बघितलं की यांच्यामध्ये जर समरस व्हायचं असेल तर यांचे पण पूजा अर्चा आपण स्वीकारल्या पाहिजे. आणि ते इतकं सर्रास सरमिसळ होत गेली ना, केवळच का दगड धोंड्याचं किंवा याचं ज्याला आपण म्हणतो ना शेंदुराचं रूप जाऊन त्यांनी त्याला माणसाचे आकार म्हणजे फोटोच्या स्वरूपात, मूर्तीच्या स्वरूपात, ते मूर्तीच्या स्वरूपात झाले. त्यावेळेला संबंध ते प्रगत समाजाचे देव झाले. त्यांनी एक साधारण मनाने संकल्पना तयार केली. स्वरूप म्हणजे इतकं देखणं, सुंदर हसणं, कमळात बसलेली, पैसे अर्पण करते असं. पण ते मुळात आपलेच देव आहे. हे संबंध आपण यांना लक्ष्मी मानलं होतं, यांनाच गुरु मानलं होतं, यांनाच त्याच. आता शंकराचे मूळ पुसा आपण आहोत. आपण मूळ पुजारी किंवा आपण जे आहे त्या पूर्वी म्हणे भीमाशंकरचे पुजारी आपणच होतो, त्र्यंबकेश्वरचे पुजारी आपणच होतो. आता बैरमचा देव स्वीकारला हे एकमेव उदाहरण. असे ताडोबा आता म्हणजे अभयारण्य म्हणून जगभरात प्रसिद्ध आहे. पण मूळ तुम्हाला माहिती का, ताडोबा तिथला तो मूळ स्थानिक देवता आहे ती, तिचं नाव ते अभयारण्याला दिलेले आणि जग प्रसिद्ध झाला तो. ते जाता तो देव आहे मुळात. ताडोबा हे नाव तिथल्या देवतेच आहे. ते का साधं दगडाच्या आकारात जे मांडायचं, वर्षानुवर्षी पूजा केल्यावर ते आपोआप त्याच्यामध्ये जसं शेतामध्ये राखणदार असतो तो उघड्यावरच असतो, तो राणावनातच असतो असे.
Could you tell us about the regions from where some of these languages belong?
ओव्हरऑल महाराष्ट्रापुरतं विचार करू तर ते त्या गोंडी भाषेतलं किंवा माडी या भाषेमध्ये, कारण गोंडी पूर्ण वेगळी भाषा आहे, माडी या पूर्ण वेगळी भाषा आहे, कोलामी पूर्ण वेगळी भाषा असं येते. आता कोलामी म्हणजे यवतमाळ तो भाग आहे ना, तिथे कोलामी भाषा बोलली येते. आणि धुळे हा सातपुडा रेंज आहे ना, तिथे पावरी समाजाची पावरी भाषा बोलली जाते. ते म्हणजे समाजानुसारच नावं दिली गेली तिला. कोकणांची कोकणी भाषा. इतकी सरमिसळ होते ना या आपल्या आधुनिकीकरणाच्या सगळे एकत्र दररोज भेटतात. सगळीकडे आपल्याला कार्यालयाच्या निमित्ताने कामाच्या निमित्ताने जमावंच लागतं, भेटावंच लागतं. मग तो कोणी असू दे पण सगळे आपण एक असतो त्यावेळेला. त्यावेळेला भाषा नकळत आपली तोटातली भाषा पुण्यामध्ये बोलली जाते, नगरमध्ये बोलली जाते, कुठे बोलली जाते. तर कोणी नाकारत नाही ती भाषा. उलट लोकांचं लक्ष जातं की अरे हा काहीतरी वेगळा शब्द वापरला आणि कानाला गोड वाटतं विशेष म्हणजे ती भाषा आणि त्यामुळे ते स्वीकारलेलं आहे.
Odisha, a state situated on the eastern coast of India along the Bay of Bengal. It is very popular for its culture and temples. Majority of the tribes of India are found in the tribal belt along the central and eastern part of India. Odisha hosts a lot of these tribes. As per the census 2011, the state of Odisha has the third highest percentage of tribal population in the country. Tribes like Gond and Saura are found in the bordering areas of Odisha along with Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh respectively.
Saura. It is spoken in the southern parts of Odisha and bordering areas of Andhra Pradesh in the eastern part of India. It is a South Munda language and uses the Saura sorghum script. Saura has been listed as vulnerable to extinction by the UNESCO. Let's learn more about Saura through an interview with Janvi Rathod. She is an alumni of Symbiosis College of Arts and Commerce, Pune, graduated in 2021. She currently works as an SBI Youth for India in the remotest part of Odisha in the Gajpati district alongside Gram Vikas NGO. Her work involves promoting the Saura language, art and culture into the daily lives of locals, and she is also formulating an audiovisual dictionary for the same.
Hello guys, this is Ishan Dhadwad from FYBA, Symbiosis College of Arts and Commerce, Pune. Today I am interviewing Janvi.
Hello everyone, my name is Janvi Rathod. I am an SBI fellow currently working in Odisha, in the southwestern part of Odisha, and I'm working in an NGO called as Gram Vikas.
So how was your experience working in Odisha?
So I'm currently staying in the district called as Gajpati, and I'm working in a school. It's a school of 96% like absolute tribal students, and they belong from a tribe called as Saura. So my experience as of now is that I'm still experiencing a lot of things. There's a whole shift in my life because I personally grew up in the city and now I'm working in a village. So it's basically I'm living two lives right now. So that is my experience so far.
We come to know that you work with tribals too over there, and you were talking about the script, the script of Saura something. Do you have anything to talk about that maybe?
So in my school there is no script. Actually there is no script of Saura as of now, if you think about it, because the script has died now because of knowledge, because of its minimal use. सब भूल गए हैं. लेकिन in my school, since in my the kids in my school, they write Saura in Roman. Yeah, they write Saura in Roman. And I also work in other school where they write Saura in Odia script. Since it's in Odisha, and Odisha is the language that they all speak, it's a state language, so it's in Odia. So I think people are using the language according to their convenience, and there is no script. And where I'm working right now, there are converted Christians who just जिनके Bible भी Saura में Roman में लिखे हैं. So that is a Saura Bible which is written in Roman. So that is how the influence has been, they are writing it in Roman and these kids are writing it in Odia. So there are two other scripts that are using it according to their convenience. So yeah.
What exactly is this language Saura? When you talk about Saura, what is the root? What is the root of that language? If you would like to shed some light on that.
Of course. So Saura is predominantly spoken in southwestern part of Odisha. It is a tribal language and it is a South Mundu language which belongs to a family Austroasiatic languages. And it is actually nowhere close to Odia. Because we think that okay, if this is spoken in the state, maybe it's similar, a little similar to the state language, but it's not. It's completely different than Odia. Like if you read Odia and if you read Saura, they're like two different languages altogether. And Sora, according to UNESCO, as we all know, that it is vulnerable to extinction because of its minimal use. So in my school, what is happening, since there are also non-Sora speaking students, there is an influence on these students that okay, they are not supposed to talk in their mother language. So there is a shame culture altogether built around it. And it's an Adivasi language, like there are people who are like, hum Adivasi language kyun padhe? So there's a general opposition to the language. So this is the language thing that I can tell you about. Yeah.
Well, do you think there are some efforts to revive that language in any shape or format?
Yeah, as of now, the government is actually working towards it. Like they are preserving the handicrafts made from the tribals. They are promoting Sora dances. They are promoting Sora culture, but they are also, I think, promoting the language by making an audio-visual dictionary. But yeah, they are doing it, I think, in the museum in Bhubaneswar. But the reviving part of it, very less emphasis is put on language. There's more emphasis on other things like dances, handicrafts, their work, their livelihood, and everything else. But the language, it's like minimal. There's no highlight towards it. Yeah, it's not in the language is not in that limelight as compared to the other things.
Do you believe that this language is being sidelined mainly due to the influence of it being on the border and it being stuck in two regions, as you stated in Odisha and it's near the border, so the influence of Telugu as such?
Because of that, the language is not.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I highly feel that it's. Again, see, if I know this language, if you know that language, we'll try to talk in a common language which I'll also understand, you'll also understand. So what is happening in Odisha is that they all understand Odia. Even the Telugu kids will speak in Odia because they know Odia, their friends know Odia, their parents know Odia, and they're also working in the villages nearby school, which is in Gajpati where I'm working right now. So the common language is Odia only, but not because it's at the border or anything as of now. Telugus will only speak in Telugus, but they can also speak fluently Odia. The point with Sora is that it is a language of the tribe, so that is something which is different than Telugu or Odia as of now. Yeah, I mean there are also tribes which speak in Odia, but this is a Sora tribe in itself. It's a whole different identity.
Right.
So Sora language, again, it's an Adivasi language, and because of that, they feel there's a shame culture built around it. Even in school, if I'm getting out of that room, there will be two kids here talking in Sora with each other, but they'll stop as soon as I enter the class. Because they feel they are scared that, okay, what if she hears the language and, like, there's a general opposition. Like, in my school, there are 3 Sora speaking teachers and rest of them are non-Sora speaking teachers. So what happens, even those Sora speaking teachers are less motivated to talk in Sora with the kids. Because the non-Sora speaking teachers are not talking, or they don't have time to learn the new language. So yeah, that is.
Well, to talk about positives, how hopeful are you for the future of this language?
I'm extremely hopeful because now, not because I'm a social worker, but I feel there's so much more that we can do about the languages. And even if that language is, let's say that, so in this school I started this recent activity, it is thought of the day in Sora. So in school, the problem with school is that it works in a system and no one wants an outsider to break that, right? So I have started this activity, thought of the day, as a ritual thing, like something that will go on, like how Odia में कैसे वो लोग news पढ़ते हैं assembly के time में, Odia में कैसे thought of the day होता है. We can also add Sora thought of the day, and that is how there will be like even smallest use of the language that can help so many other students to actually stay in touch with their own languages. So I'm very helpful for that, which is why I'm also working in a social setup like school. And because school is the best social setup where a language flows and there's also language that is gained. And that is what the kids are going to take back at home. And if they tell their parents that, we speak in Sora, we do activities in Sora, they'll also feel very normal around the language. Because speaking the language is not the problem, but being comfortable with the language is a big problem there. So I feel if that happens, it's going to take ages, because 13 months for my fellowship is very less to do any of that sort of work. Which is why I'm also creating an audiovisual dictionary for the same. So that is how people will understand that, it's a normal language. Like when students see me, that an outsider like her is learning our language, they'll also feel comfortable with it. So I feel there's there's a very bright future if this thing really goes on, like continues in school, because I only have 13 months. After that I quit because I have to. It's the policy. I can't go back, and it's them who are going to take it forward. So sustainability of the language only takes place if it's made at use. Like if you're using it, if you're talking it, if you're writing it, if you're hearing it someone talk. So that is how the sustainability of the language goes. That is what I feel.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And we hope that you make an impact.
Yes. Great. And with that, we come to the end of our documentary. I would first like to thoroughly thank everyone for making it this far into our film. When we started working on this project, we had 3 goals in mind: to advocate for the preservation and safeguarding of these languages, to educate people by spreading awareness about the literary history and the origins of these languages, and most importantly, to document these languages, for when a language dies, an inseparable part of society dies with it. Before we leave you, we have one last question to ask Dr. Satarupa Datta Majumdar, and that question is: what can we as Indian citizens do to safeguard endangered languages of our country?
First of all, as Indian citizens, we need to be conscious regarding the importance of different endangered languages and speech communities of the country. The awareness of developing these languages as a part of the whole developmental program of the nation is of utmost importance. Effort through language planning and policy is hoped to bring positive impact for safeguarding the endangered languages. Participation and empowerment of the members of the speech communities in the developmental activities of their language is prerequisite to make the people aware about the importance of maintaining their mother tongue. We need to be aware that Indian Constitution safeguards the linguistic rights of all the speech communities in equal terms, and right to education in mother tongue is also constitutionally protected. The economic gains should be integrated with the knowledge and use of one's own language or mother tongue. Efforts for codification and implementation of these endangered languages in different domains of social life like formal education, administration, judiciary and mass media can help in safeguarding these endangered languages.